So Finance, you were to lay a paper, subsequent to which you are to table a notice of motion. You haven't laid your paper, therefore you cannot put your notice of motion. Yeah. So we'll decide. If the report is brought in before the end of the day, we can still allow you to do that. The Chairperson, Mediation Committee. Mediation Committee, the same fate. The Chairperson, Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare.
Notice of motion of the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare on petition to the Senate by Mr. Titus Njoroge concerning his dismissal by the African Inland Church, AIC of Kenya, and non-payment of arrears owed to him. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to give notice of the following motion: that the Senate adopts the report on Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare on petition to the Senate by Mr. Titus Njoroge concerning his dismissal by the African Inland Church, AIC of Kenya, and non-payment of arrears owed to him, laid on the table of the Senate on Thursday, 27th November 2025. I lay.
You had two notices to give.
Sorry, Mr. Speaker, sir. Motion of notice of motion report on the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare on petition to the Senate by employees of the former Kenya Creameries, Kenya Cooperative Creameries Limited, KCC, concerning non-payment of outstanding terminal benefits and Maziwa Sacco dues to former employees of Kenya Cooperatives Creameries Limited. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to give notice of the following motion: that the Senate adopts the report on Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare on petition to the Senate by employees of the former Kenya Cooperative Creameries Limited, KCC, concerning non-payment of outstanding terminal benefits and Maziwa Sacco dues to former employees of Kenya Cooperative Creameries Limited, laid on the table of Senate on Thursday, 27th November 2025. I lay.
Senator Mungatana.
On behalf of Senator Mungatana, Speaker, I wish to give notice of the motion, the report of the Kenya delegation to the sittings of the Pan-African Parliament, PAP committees and other Pan-African Parliament organs held at Kalaga Convention Center, Midrand, South Africa on the 13th of September to 20th of September 2024. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to give the notice of the following motion: that the Senate notes the report of the Kenya delegation to the sittings of the Pan-African Parliament, committees and other Pan-African Parliament organs held at the Gallagher Convention Center in Midrand, South Africa on the 13th September to 20th September 2024, laid on the table of the Senate on Tuesday, 2nd December 2025. Speaker, with your permission, I also I beg to give notice of the following motion, Mr. Speaker: that the Senate notes the record of the proceedings of the 4th ordinary session of the 6th Parliament of the Pan-African Parliament held at the Gallagher Convention Center in Midrand, South Africa on the 20th October to 17th November 2024, laid on the table of the Senate on Tuesday, the 2nd of December, 2025. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Next order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Senator Hamida Kibwana.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have 3 statements, Mr. Speaker, and I'll move very fast. The first statement is on suitability of cooking oils in the country and their production. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to the Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Trade, Industrialization and Tourism on a matter of national concern regarding the safety, quality, and suitability of cooking oils consumed in the country and the truth behind how these oils are produced and processed. Mr. Speaker, sir, this is growing public concern about the health risks posed by highly processed and hydrogenated oils, particularly industrial trans fats, which are linked to heart disease and other chronic illnesses. Although experts recommend healthier options such as olive, avocado, high oleic, sunflower, and canola oils, many undergo heavy industrial processing, and labeling often remains unclear. Consumers, therefore, cannot easily tell the source, level of processing, or presence of harmful compounds in the oils they buy, exposing them to preventable health risks. In the statement, the committee is chemically extracted, refined, or cold pressed, and whether it contains hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated fats. Number 2, or partially hydrogenated fats. Number 2, whether regular testing is done. Mr. Speaker, kindly protect me from Senator Cherargei.
Order, Senator Boni and Senator Fernandi. You may consult, but please do it in low tone.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Number 2, whether regular testing is done on all locally produced and imported oils to detect contaminants, trans fats, adulteration, and undeclared blends, including data on the quantity and batches on oil seized or recalled for failed SCABs tests in the last 3 years, and the frequency of this testing. Number 3, measures taken to align Kenya with Global World Health Organization guidelines that require industrial trans fats to be restricted to no more than 2% of total fat content, including plans to eliminate them from all foods, including street and restaurant foods. The last but not the least, plans to increase public awareness on which oils support good health, including nutrition, education campaigns targeting households, schools, hotels, manufacturers, and street food vendors. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The second one is on the lifting of logging ban in the Mau Forest Complex. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Land, Environment, and Natural Resources on a matter of national concern regarding the lifting of logging ban in the Mau Forest Complex and its implications on the ongoing national initiatives to restore degrading forest landscapes, secure water catchments, and strengthen climate resilience. In the statement, the committee should address the following. Number 1, the job creation, revenue generation, and other quantifiable social economic benefits of lifting the logging ban in Mau Forest Complex, and contrast this with the adverse environment impacts. Number 2, whether independent environmental audits and strategic environment assessments were undertaken before the ban was lifted, and if so, obtain the key findings and recommendations. Number 3, whether the relevant county governments, local communities, environment conservation organizations and experts were consulted before the ban was lifted, and if so, obtain evidence demonstrating that their input was considered. Number 4, the measures in place to ensure that the renewable logging does not degrade the forest ecosystem, biodiversity, water catchment, and climate regulation functions to undermine existing restoration plans and programs, and obtain details on the total acreage of the areas open to logging vis-a-vis the restricted areas, allowable annual cut and annual restoration targets, including the number of species-specific tree seedlings to be planted. Number 5, whether the monitoring and whether the monitoring and enforcement mechanism in place to prevent illegal logging have been reviewed in view of the fact that the lifting of the ban may provide cover for increased illegal logging activities, and whether additional forest rangers and enforcement officers have been deployed to the forest. My last statement, Mr. Speaker, is on the lack of intensive care unit, ICU, at Pumwani Maternity Hospital. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health on a matter of national concern regarding the lack of an intensive care unit, ICU, at Pumwani Maternity Hospital. Mr. Speaker, sir, Pumwani Maternity Hospital is the largest dedicated maternity hospital in East and Central Africa and a crucial referral center for high-risk pregnancies. Life-threatening complications such as severe hemorrhage,
Mr. Speaker, when you were classmates. That's Lomonen for you. The point I'm trying to prosecute is this, Mr. Speaker. We've just moved a procedural motion here that the business for tomorrow and Thursday is an impeachment procedure, process for Nyamira County. We have an order item, specifically the cash disbursement for additional allocation, where we're waiting for the report and hopefully to consider that business. Because if we don't do it today, Mr. Speaker, unfortunately, technically today is the last day of sitting. So I want to request colleagues that please bear with us, don't leave the House and the precincts of Parliament, because we must transact that business today. Otherwise, the import is that despite the fact that we have passed the conditional allocations to counties, Mr. Speaker, they will not access that money until February, Mr. Speaker, which will be a great travesty and a dereliction of duty on our part. So I want to plead with our whips to ensure that the members stay in, but also you as the members to request that stay in until we consider that business. I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for indulging me.
Senator Alexander Mundigi.
County. Request for statement on labor right and welfare of Kenyans national working in Qatar. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise person to Standing Order 53.1 to check a statement from the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare on a matter of national concern regarding labor right and welfare of Kenyans national working in Qatar. Mr. Speaker, sir, during the recent visit to Qatar, I meet with Kenyans immigrant workers who raised serious concern regarding their welfare and working conditions. Among the major issues reported were wages disparities compared to other nationalities, unsafe working environment, exploitation by unlicensed recruitment agents, and emotional distress among returnees workers. Also highlighted the lack of streamlined pre-departure process, limited recognition of professional certification acquired abroad, and inadequate support for community engagement and reintegration. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1. The measures the ministry has implemented as safeguard the safety, dignity, and legal right of Kenyans working in Qatar and returnees including effort to curb exploitation by unlicensed recruitment agents and prevent misuse of visitor visa in place of proper work permit. The extent of the ministry engagement with the Qatar authorities to ensure fair wages, safe working conditions, and address wages disparities affecting Kenyans in similar role compared to other nationalities. 3. Steps taken to streamline pre-departure producers, just as the establishment of Qatar Visa Center in Kenya, and to support returnees through mental health counseling, job readiness programs, and reintegration funds. Plans in place to support the creation of Kenyan diaspora skills development school in Qatar and to fast-track recognition of professional certification acquired abroad, particularly in sectors such as education, healthcare, and aviation. 5. The mechanism in place for involving diaspora representatives in national policy consultations on labor, migration, education, and investment, and for monitoring implementation of diaspora forum recommendations. 6. Whether the ministry facilitate national celebrations,
Order,
sport,
honorable
and
senators.
cultural event for Kenyans
Senator
in Qatar,
Seki and the
and
majority
whether
leader.
there is an
Senator Mundigi, when the chair is speaking, is simply protecting him. Okay, proceed.
5. The mechanism in place for involving diaspora representatives in national policy consultation on labor, migration, education, and investment, and for monitoring implementation of diaspora forum recommendations. 6. Whether the ministry facilitate national celebrations, sport, and cultural event for Kenyans in Qatar, and whether there is a dedicated funds to support such initiative. 7. Whether the ministry, in collaboration with the other agencies, has considered involving the tax burden borne by Kenyans working abroad and implemented safeguard against fraudulent investment schemes targeting diaspora committees. Senator Alexander Munyimundigi, Senator for Embu County. Doctor.
Senator Mutinda Tabitha.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
As you do your statement, you proceed to lay your paper and also move your notice.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That is well noted. I beg, pursuant to Standing Order 53.1, to seek a statement from the Standing Committee of Health on a matter of national concern regarding the shortage of dexamethasone and surfactant drugs in the public health facilities countrywide. Mr. Speaker, dexamethasone is administered to pregnant women at risk of imminent preterm birth. The drug also accelerates fetal lung development and significantly improves neonatal survival rates. While surfactant is given to paternant neonates soon after delivery, it is critical in optimizing lung function and preventing fatal complications. The shortage of these essential drugs in public health facilities gravely undermines maternal and neonatal care, exposing vulnerable mothers and infants to preventable risk. In the statement, Mr. Speaker, the committee should address the following two issues. 1, the reasons for the shortage of dexamethasone and surfactant drugs in public health facilities countrywide, as well as the steps being taken by the Ministry of Health to resolve this issue. Secondly, the interventions being considered to guarantee sustained and reliable supply of dexamethasone, surfactant, and other essential maternal health drugs in order to avert similar shortages in future. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As I proceed, Mr. Speaker, I beg to lay The following paper on the table of the Senate today, the 2nd of December, report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the county additional allocations cash disbursement schedule for financial year 2025-2026.
Proceed to give notice.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to give notice of motion on our report that the Senate adopts the report of the Standing Committee of Finance and Budget on the county additional allocations cash disbursement schedule for financial year 2025-2026, laid on the table of the Senate today, the 2nd of December, that is pursuant to Standing Order 17.7 of the Public Finance Management Act, which approves the county government's additional allocation cash disbursement schedule for financial year 2025-2026.
Senator Mutata.
Mr. Speaker, sir, this is a request for a statement on the land dispute between the Kenya Defence Forces and the previous owners of the land in Mariakani and Tangathini, locations in Kilifi County, earmarked for the construction of an army barracks. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53, Clause 1, to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the land dispute between the Kenya Defence Forces, KDF, and the previous owners of parcel number CR 73-754/26010 in Mariakani and Tangathini locations in Kaloleni Sub-County, Kilifi County. Mr. Speaker, sir, in the 1980s, the government earmarked the land for the construction of an army barracks and committed to compensate and relocate each affected family to Magarini constituency, where they would each be allocated land with a government-built house. However, only partial compensation ranging between Kenya shillings 500 and Kenya shillings 2,000 was ever paid. Consequently, the affected families continue to reside in the land as they await the promised relocation, even as they faced constant threats of displacement, prohibitions against putting up permanent structures, or burying their deceased relatives on the land. On 1st September 2025, the KDF issued an ultimatum requiring the families to vacate the land without consultation and without any arrangements for compensation or resettlement. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the historical ownership status of the land registered as parcel number CR 73754/26010 in Kilifi County, including whether due process was followed in the acquisition of the land by the government. 2, the reasons for the failure by the government to fulfill its pledge to relocate the previous owners of the land to Magarini constituency. 3, the timelines for the allocation of houses and land to the affected families in line with the government commitment or for payment in commensurate compensation. 4, whether the ultimatum requiring the families residing on the land to vacate could be rescinded and the families allowed to remain on the land without harassment or undue restrictions until they are fully compensated. Signed, Senator Andrew Mtatwa Koiti, MP, Senator from Busia, 26 November 2025. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now, honorable senators will come back to the remaining statements, but allow me to further rearrange today's order paper. so that we handle a crucial business that needs to be concluded today. That is order number 13, the motion on the cash disbursement schedule. Clerk, proceed to call that order.
Order number 13, motion. Report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the county government's additional allocations cash disbursement schedule for the financial year 2025-2026.
Chairperson, Standing Committee on Finance and Budget.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I do beg to move that the Senate adopts this report for the county additional allocation cash disbursement schedule for this particular financial year 2025-2026, which I'm going to shortly, which I've shortly just laid on this table today, the 2nd of December, Mr. Speaker. The county additional cash disbursement schedule was submitted as per Section 17 of the PFM Act, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I beg to move the motion that the Senate adopts the report of the Standing Committee of Finance and Budget on the county government's additional allocations cash disbursement schedule for the financial year 25-26, laid on the table of the Senate on the 2nd of December 2025, and that pursuant to Section 17(7) of the Public Finance Management Act, approves the county government's additional allocation cash disbursement schedule for financial year 2025-2026. Mr. Speaker, as I proceed, that Section 17 of the PFM Act, Cap 412, requires that the Senate does approve this particular schedule. This is a motion that each and every financial year, Mr. Speaker, I've stood here, or my chair have done so, to lay this particular motion. Mr. Speaker, I'll go directly to the main issue, which is how much has been, is actually on this schedule for disbursement. And it is this approval that we shall do today, Mr. Speaker, that gives the counties more monies, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the disbursement amounts to 70 billion, which spreads across 3 key schedules. Mr. Speaker, the first schedule amounts to 2 billion, 2.9, being the total allocation of the unconditional allocations, comprising of 11.5 million from the court fines and 2.9 billion from the 20% share of the mineral royalties, Mr. Speaker. In the morning, Mr. Speaker, in one of our normal discussions, we had a discussion of the issues of minerals, Mr. Speaker. And on this schedule, we have 2.9, Mr. Speaker, that is a share of the mineral royalties. But, Mr. Speaker, this is not an amount that we should actually be so proud of, because where we sit as a country, Mr. Speaker, what is collected through mineral royalties should be able to take care of this country. We should actually move away from borrowing and maximize on our mining, Mr. Speaker. If 20% amounts to 2.9, Mr. Speaker, with more mining policies and structures, Mr. Speaker, this country can be able to generate more revenue through minerals. The second schedule, Mr. Speaker, is 9.9 billion, being the total allocation for the total conditional allocations from the national government share. And, Mr. Speaker, if members could give me their ears, this is where sometimes we go to the ground. We want to communicate to our people, the people that we represent, Mr. Speaker. The amount of 9.9 million, Mr. Speaker, it is critical for members to know that 3.2 billion is the monies for community health promoters. We have always stood for community health promoters when we say that governors are not paying them their dues, Mr. Speaker. I want to confirm before this House that 3.2 is what we are soon going to be able to approve, so that the community health promoters can get their dues and get their dues on time, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, another critical issue that this government, this country has struggled with is the issue of our doctors, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, today, in this schedule, 1.7 billion, Mr. Speaker, is for doctors' basic salary arrears. The key word, Mr. Speaker, there is the arrears. People have come out shouting, criticizing, and saying that monies and arrears need to be paid. And health sector is very critical, Mr. Speaker. And I'm tabling before this House that 1.7 billion is what has been approved for the arrears of the doctors' basic salary. 449 million, Mr. Speaker, for the county headquarters. Let me really appreciate my committee members, led by our honorable chair, none other than the party leader of UDM, Mr. Speaker, Senator Faki, Senator Shakila, Senator Boni, Senator Eddie, Senator Essie, Senator Mariam, Mr. Speaker, for their dedicated input in the Committee of Finance and Budget. Why? It is this committee in this 13th Parliament, Mr. Speaker, that we've been able to bring all the sectors, public sector, Minister of Health, among other sectors, the governors themselves, for the 5 counties that for the longest they have never been able to receive their funds for their headquarters. We've moved to counties, Mr. Speaker, and we've seen counties. The example is a county like Kakamega. There is no proper chambers in this year of 2025. Whereby we've been able to push that now these counties are able to get their 449 million to be able to finish up on the project of the headquarters that had started. Mr. Speaker, as I proceed, 4.4 billion for the county integrated industrial parks. In short, the KIPES, Mr. Speaker. KIPES are projects that had been started. And it is so sad when sometimes Kenyans do not have value for their money. And that is how we've been able to see a few Kenyans, as much as it is their right, coming out and say this project amounts to this amount of billions, but this project has stalled. Why do these projects stall? Because we do not put money for these projects to continue continue up to the completion status. And in that regard, as far as the KIPES issues are concerned, the amount that has been allocated in the second schedule is 4.4 billion, Mr. Speaker. As I proceed, 93 million from the affordable housing levy, Mr. Speaker. It is clear, Mr. Speaker, we've been able to see how much investment of housing has been put in place. The third schedule, Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, is 57 billion.
Senator
the
Fak,
50.
I thought you're a member of this committee.
We are dealing here with the disbursement schedule. The bill was already passed. We're just dealing with the disbursement schedule. Thank you.
Okay, proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
And, the more time you take, the more members you lose. You can see the traffic and the movement, the impatience.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll still beg my colleagues to just bear with me. In a few minutes, I'll be done. These are the conversations that the people that we represent. It is important for community health workers to know that money has been dispersed. As I conclude, Mr. Speaker, 57 billion is a total allocation for the county additional proceeds from loans and grants, and that schedule is attached in what I've actually been able to table. You can see how much has gone to your specific counties. The third schedule, Mr. Speaker, is that 22 billion from the proceeds of loans, as I've indicated. 34 for single programs shall be only accessed by counties after meeting the criteria performance appraisal that has been set, Mr. Speaker. With those many few remarks, I really want to appreciate the Secretariat of Finance and Budget, led by the clerk, Gitonga, Madam Beverly, and the team, the legal clerks as well, and also pass the same regards to my colleagues in the Senate committee. And I want to take this opportunity, because we'll not be sitting again until 2026 from the month of February. I want to wish my members of the committee a happy Merry Christmas and a happy 2026. Thank you.
Who is seconding your motion?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll request Senator of Mombasa, Senator Faki, to second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and thank you, Madam Vice Chair, Senator Tabitha. Chair, I rise to second this motion to adopt the disbursement schedule for the county additional allocation cash disbursement schedules for the year 2025-2026. We are almost half the financial year, and our counties have been starved of this cash. Mr. Speaker, sir, the disbursement schedule gives a predictability to the county governments on when the resources will reach their account. And therefore, it is imperative that the Senate, as a watchdog, be alive to the fact that most of the time, these monies are delayed in reaching the counties. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, sir, the issue of the donor-funded projects, for instance, FLOCA. At the moment, my Committee of Lands is inviting governors to come and show or provide details of the projects they have done under FLOCA. And most of the counties, Mr. Speaker, sir, are reluctant to appear before us because most of the FLOCA projects which they are alleged to have implemented are all phantom projects. So we need, as senators, to be alive to these factors, because if you see the amounts of monies that have been disbursed on FLOCA, and these are supposed to be climate resilient projects that assist not only the counties, but also the country in meeting its commitments under the climate agreements. Finally, Mr. Speaker, sir, on KIPES, we note that a sum of about 4 billion is being sent to the counties. However, the counterpart funding for these projects, Mr. Speaker, sir, has not been provided in most of the counties. For instance, speaking for Mombasa, a sum of about 125 million was disbursed in the year 2024-2025. However, nothing was allocated in the budgets of the county of Mombasa for the period 2024-25 and even 2025-2026. So in the end, we might end up with ghost projects, projects that have not been completed, and therefore there will be no value for money. Mr. Speaker, sir, I second. Thank you.
Honourable Senators, I will now propose the question that the Senate adopt the report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the county government's additional allocations, cash disbursement schedule for the financial year 2025-2026, laid on the table of the Senate on Tuesday, 2nd December 2025, and that pursuant to Section 17(7) of the Public Finance Management Act, approved the county government's additional allocations cash disbursement schedule for the year 2025-2026. Now the floor is open for debate. Honourable Senators, this is a matter that touches counties. Okay. So, Honourable Wakili Hilary Kiprotich Sigei, you may take the floor. Senator Edwin Sifuna, Senator for Nairobi City County.
Mr. Speaker, it is a schedule. With due respect, the instruction that I have from the minority side is that we proceed to vote on the schedule. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Senator Boni.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I'm glad that you have posed the intention to put the question. Anything touching on devolution, specifically issues of funding, speaks to the core business of this House. I want to thank you for this opportunity, and I want to second the motion. And as I do so, I wonder, why do we bring this schedule? Probably we are playing into the hands of the National Treasury. The Constitution is very clear in 175 that the National Treasury shall release funds in a timely manner so as to enable devolved units to work. It doesn't say the National Treasury should wait for instructions from anybody. And therefore, when we give this kind of legislation, it's a good thing. We are doing our work. But to me, it's academic. We should use this floor every day, reminding the Treasury that the legislation we made, which indicated that funds should be there on or before the 15th day of the month, is sufficient. Mr. Speaker, having said that, I want to request our governors across the board. Now the money is there. Make use of it. We keep on seeing governors driving around in the counties. Some of them even use county fuel, Mr. Speaker, like in Kakamega, for a special pickup that carries 2 chairs, executive chairs, one for the governor at the funeral and another one on his left for his wife. I mean, we are not serious. We are not serious, I'll tell you. However connected we are as governors, that is not a demonstration of leadership, Mr. Speaker. And I want to ask about these KIPES. Why did governors agree to share responsibility with the government on this project when they had not factored it in the budget? Everywhere in the country, apart from a few places, including Likuyani in Kakamega, the KIPES project stopped the day the launch was done. This means the governor was not prepared. He had not consulted his budget. He came to Nairobi to append his signature on policies that required financial ability. This should not be repeated going forward, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as I finalize, allow me to use this special opportunity to thank the people of Chwele, Kapchai Ward in Bungoma County of Kapchai constituency, and the people of Malaba constituency in Kakamega County for their demonstration of courage. Mr. Speaker, the country might not be aware what took place on the ground. This weekend we are going back to bury the people who were shot and killed. Mr. Speaker, we are going to clear bills of victims of the violence that was there in that election. I therefore congratulate them and tell them that all is not lost. The future is bright. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Osotsi.
Mr. Speaker, just like my SG, I was not very prepared to contribute, but nevertheless, because the opportunity is there, Mr. Speaker, allow me to say this, that indeed I want to agree with the Honorable Halwale that this exercise of passing disbursement schedules, both for shareable revenue and additional allocation, is basically an academic exercise, Mr. Speaker, because the Treasury never follows this. Mr. Speaker, it is sad that for the last 3 years we've been passing this schedule and our CHPs are not paid in time. For example, in my county, CHP, we passed 43.8 million shillings as additional allocation. But 5-6 months down the line, they have not been paid because the delay starts with the Treasury, and then because the Treasury delays, the county also delays their counterpart funding. So you find that the CHPs who are working very hard in our villages to help in managing primary health care are not able to receive their small stipend in time. So, Mr. Speaker, I want us to have a mechanism, and that the Finance Committee, where Senator Tabitha is doing a good job. I want to encourage her to also follow up on delays which we continue to encounter, where funds to the counties, particularly additional allocation. Mr. Speaker, money from donors, why should it delay to be dispersed to the counties? Second issue, Mr. Speaker, is on the issue of mineral royalties. When I look at the schedule, none of the counties in Western region is receiving any mineral royalties. Mr. Speaker, and we have active mining of gold by some people called Shanta Gold. A company called Shanta Gold, there are crooks, Mr. Speaker. And I don't fear to say this. We have some work they are doing on the border between Vihiga and Siaya at a place called Ramula. And part of it is in Vihiga County. These people are harassing our people day and night. Mr. Speaker, as much as we encourage development for our region, as much as we encourage investment in our region, we will not support anything that is going to intimidate our people, anything that is going to forcefully get our people out of their inheritance, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as I support this, I also want to add my voice to the county aggregation and industrial park. Mr. Speaker, this project is becoming a white elephant project in all the counties. If you look at the counties, Vihiga, Kakamega, and the others, nothing is taking place after the launch, Mr. Speaker. Money was appropriated to this project. County assemblies have not been able to pass their counterpart funding. And, Mr. Speaker, we are heading to 2027, and there is nothing happening as far as county industrial aggregation parks is concerned. So I think the relevant committees involved, in this case the Finance Committee and the Trade Committee, must really go to the ground and tell this House what is happening in our counties, that we have appropriated money, 250 per county, and some counties have even given their counterpart funding, but there is very little progress on the ground, and we are worried that this money may disappear like the others which have disappeared in the past. The idea of an aggregation and industrial park is a good one, but I am worried that this project, if not well oversighted and well managed, we may end up having a white elephant projects in our 47 counties. Mr. Speaker, nevertheless, I support this motion on disbursement schedule for academic reasons, because I know even if we pass, they will not disburse this money within the timelines that are indicated in the report. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support.
Senator, yes, Majority Leader, what's your point of?
I rise under standing order number 110 for the mover to now be called to reply. Because, Mr. Speaker, I know this House very well. If it gets to 4:30 while we are still talking, we will not pass this schedule. So why do you want to talk and you don't end up passing the schedule? Let us pass the schedule. If people want to say, there will be an opportunity for them to say later. I request Senator Sifuna to second.
Senator Sifuna.
Speaker, I second.
Honorable Senators, I want to assume that is the mood of the House. Very well. Very well. I have now read the mood. So we will proceed to call the mover to reply. Mover.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I beg to reply.
Honorable Senators, pursuant to Standing Order 84-1, I have made the determination that the matter affects county, and I will put the question after we have rung the bell for 5 minutes. Sergeant at Arms, please ring the bell for 5 minutes. Sergeant at Arms, stop the bell, draw the bars and close the door. Honorable Senators, please take your seats. Mundingi, please take your seat. Cherargei. Honorable Senators, I put the question that the Senate adopts the report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the county government's additional allocations cash disbursement schedule for the financial year 2025-2026, laid on the table of the Senate on Tuesday, 2nd December 2025, and that pursuant to Section 17(7) of the Public Finance Management Act, approves the county government's additional allocations cash disbursement schedule for financial year 2025-2026. Honorable Senators, the voting will be electronic. Please remove your cards. Sergeant at Arms, check for any cards which are still In. Sergeant at Arms, can we proceed? Okay, Senators, you may now insert your cards and log in again. Honorable Senators, I now put the question that the Senate adopts My apologies, Senators, we had already put the question. We may proceed to voting. You can now vote, Senators. Senator Abbas, please approach the desk. Honorable Senators, these are the results of the voting. Ayes 29, nays 0, abstentions 0. The ayes have it. Honorable Senators, Sergeant at Arms, you may draw the bar and open the doors. Honorable Senators, we will go back to statements. And there is a statement by Senator Eddie Okech. Senator Eddie Okech. We'll drop the statement by Senator Eddie Okech. Senator David Wakoli, your statement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. On the recognition of Emmanuel Wanyonyi as the 2025 World Athletics Male Track Athlete of the Year. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 52.1 to make a statement on a matter of national concern celebrating an extraordinary achievement by one of our nation's brightest sporting talents, Emmanuel Wanyonyi, who has been crowned as the 2025 World Athletics Male Track Athlete of the Year. Mr. Speaker, sir, at only 21 years of age, Emmanuel Wanyonyi has distinguished himself as one of the greatest middle distance runners of this generation. The 2025 season marked a truly exceptional year for him, defined by consistency, dominance, and historic performances on the global stage. He clinched the World Championship medal in Tokyo in the 800 meters, winning in a remarkable championship record of 1 minute, 41 seconds, and 44 milliseconds. This victory, on the back of his outstanding earlier triumph at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, where he captured the gold medal with a stunning time of 1 minute, 41 seconds, and 19 milliseconds, making him the third fastest performer in history. Mr. Speaker, sir, Wanyonyi's accomplishments did not end there. He went on to secure the 2025 Diamond League title and produced 4 of the 6 fastest 800 meter times in the world this year, cementing his status in the most dominant 2-lap runner of the season. This personal best of 1 minute, 41 seconds, and 11 milliseconds now places him joint second on the all-time list, just behind Kenya's own David Rudisha, the world record holder. His award marks a rare moment where a Kenyan athlete edged out a sprinting megastar, Noah Lais, in a major global category, reaffirming Kenya's continued relevance beyond long-distance races. By winning this award, Emmanuel Wanyonyi becomes only the 3rd Kenyan man in history to be honored as World Male Track Athlete of the Year, following in the footsteps of global icons David Rudisha, Eliud Kipchoge, who went all to win the overall global award. His fearless front-running style, discipline and humility continue to inspire millions of young athletes across the country and reaffirm Kenya's global reputation as a powerhouse in athletics. Mr. Speaker, sir, Wanyonyi grew up in poverty as part of 11 siblings in a small village in Western Kenya and dropped out of school at the age of 10 to herd cattle in order to support his family, but was later discovered by teachers who helped him return to school and pursue his running talent. His story exemplifies that with resilience and determination and community support, one's background does not have to be a barrier to achieving success and gaining global recognition. His career has been marked by rapid rise, including winning the World Under-20 Championship in 2021, silver in the 2023 World Championship, and setting a personal best that is the third fastest 800-meter time ever. Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Senate of the Republic of Kenya, I wish to congratulate Emmanuel Wanyonyi for bringing immense pride and honor to our nation. His achievements remind us of the greatness that Kenyan youth can attain when talent is nurtured, supported, and given opportunity to flourish. The Senate applauds his commitment, resilience, and excellence, and encourages all relevant institutions to continue supporting athletes who fly our flag high on the world stage. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Senator Mariam Sheikh.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, statement on the obstruction of the Great Immigration Corridor by private luxury hotel lodge on the Mara River. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1, to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources on the matter of national concern regarding development and operation of the private luxury lodge within a recognized wildlife migration corridor in Masai Mara ecosystem. Mr. Speaker, the Mara River is a critical lifeline for wildlife and local communities, and constructions along its riparian zone threaten this fragile ecosystem through habitat disturbance, pollutions, and disruption of established migration routes. Mr. Speaker, establishment of this facility, together with associated land use change, risk obstructing the Great Migration Corridor, accelerating the environmental degradations, and adversely affecting water resource in the area. Furthermore, the report indicates that the attempt by Maasai elders to oppose the construction were met with a gang order, raising a serious constitutional and community right concern. In the statement, the committee shall raise the following: 1, legality, validity, and circumstances under which approval, permits, or licenses were granted for both private lodge in the migration corridor and Maret-associated development on the Mara River, including whether the environmental impact assessments were conducted in accordance with the Environmental Management and Coordination Act. 2, whether the development complied with rapid reserve requirements, statutory setups, regulations, and Water Acts, EMCA, and application land use applied planning frameworks. 3, the immediate action taken by the national government and Narok County government to address obstruction of the migration corridor and any environmental harm arising from the development. 4, the extent to which meaningful public participation was undertaken in line with the Article 10 and 69 of the Constitution and address the report of intimidations and suppressions targeting the community members. 5, accumulative ecological, cultural, and socio-economical impact, the large-scale hospitality development within the Masai Mara ecosystem, and outlining the long-term mitigations or preventing measures. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Catherine Muma.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget regarding the disbursement of the Road Maintenance Levy Fund, RMLF. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, they should submit the total collection under the Road Maintenance Levy Fund for the last 5 financial years, from the financial year 2021-2022 to 2025-2026, including the status of the collection to date. Number 2, they should indicate by way of tabular presentation how the funds were disbursed and to which specific entities and to which specific projects or activities, stipulating the amounts disbursed to each project by county. Speaker, would you kindly protect me from Senator Cherargei? I don't know why he must always disrupt when people are speaking.
No, it's okay.
Speaker, the facts
Senator,
speak for themselves. You can see they're just
It's
talking.
okay. Senator Moore, proceed. You are protected. I'll allow her to be heard in silence.
Speaker, he's continuing to actually disrupt and you're just allowing him to do it. Yeah? You are talking throughout, surely.
It's okay,
You are a
Senator.
special person.
Senator Muma.
Number 3.
Cherargei, little. It is true, Muma. It wasn't him talking.
He was. I heard him.
It was Metho. But it's okay. Let us hear the senator in silence. It's okay.
Number 3, the committee should share what legislative authority or mechanism, if any, the National Treasury used to release the RMLF collection to counties in June financial year 2024-2025, and yet the National Treasury was on record having stated that RLMF proceeds cannot be disbursed to counties without a substantive law in place. The committee should indicate the levels of violation of the Public Finance Management Act and related regulations in the administration of the RLMF. And 5, the committee should advise on the appropriate legal framework or mechanism that should be established to guide on the fair and equitable disbursement by the National Treasury of the RLMF funds in a manner that respects the principles of the Constitution and devolved governance, in particular, to ensure that county governments equitably benefit from these funds. I thank you, Senator Catherine Muma, MP. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Senators, we will now allow comments on the statements, starting with Paul Thangwa. Senator Paul Thangwa.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Yes, I was baptized Paul, but I go with what I'm known, Karongo Adangwa, Senator of Kiambu. Mr. Speaker, I wish to comment on the statement requested by Senator Mundigi, the issue of people in Qatar, Mr. Speaker, Kenyans in Qatar. And I want to include not just Qatar, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Thangwa, just to interrupt you briefly. Honorable Senators, we will spend 20 minutes on the statements. So please, each speaker, try to be as brief as possible. Proceed, Senator Thangwa.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it is a matter of concern that the Kenyans, or people in diaspora, and especially in Gulf, that is Qatar, Dubai, and Saudi Arabia, Mr. Speaker, have cried for too long, crying for the Senate, for the members of Parliament or the National Parliament, that they are not taken care of when they're in these countries, Mr. Speaker. They want us to compare with countries like Philippines, Mr. Speaker, where the people are protected by their government whenever they travel to these countries, Mr. Speaker. And as I speak, Mr. Speaker, I'm really sad of what is happening to Kenyans in Saudi Arabia, and especially when they speak out. The embassy of Kenya in Saudi, Mr. Speaker, sometimes I feel like it's helpless or is unable to help when Kenyans speak for what they're going through in Saudi Arabia. Mr. Speaker, we have a Kenyan by the name Joseph Kiongozi who has been detained for nothing, Mr. Speaker. And he was detained for speaking out, for saying Kenyans are suffering in the streets, Mr. Speaker. And that Kenyan, when he's detained, his wife dies, Mr. Speaker. And it is very, very a sad affair, Mr. Speaker, that the Kenyan is detained, the wife dies, then their child is left without father and without the mother, and then the body of the wife is brought to Kenya, of course, Mr. Speaker, and the embassy is unable to assist why Joseph Kiongozi is detained in a faraway country. He comes from Kakamega, Mr. Speaker. The wife who is dead today comes from Siaya. And the women and the people who are in the streets because they cannot get papers to come back to Kenya are from all over the country, from Vihiga, from Kiambu, from wherever, Mr. Speaker. I think as we look into this statement by Mundigi on the issues of Qatar, let's speed up the processes of trying to find out why Kenyans are suffering, Mr. Speaker. Because we shouldn't let Kenyans suffer just because somebody took them there through agencies that are not licensed or that are not caring, Mr. Speaker. And it is also very sad that this committee, Mr. Speaker.
Pause his time. What is your point of order, Senator Hamida?
Mr. Speaker, I was with my brother, Senator Thangwa, in Saudi, and I know what actually what his pain is. But I went around, Mr. Speaker. In fact, I went to Jeddah. I had all the time with the Jeddah office. And the Jeddah office actually showed me, in fact, it was the same day that they had sent about 12. In fact, I've just asked the ambassador to send me the list. 12 Kenyans back to Kenya. And, you know, with their families. I'll tell you the standing order. Wait, give me that. Standing order 105, Mr. Speaker. Standing order 105, Mr. Speaker.
Allow the senator to speak. No, she said 105,
Mr. Speaker.
Allow.
Actually, I'm not even debating, so I just wanted in fact, I was just trying to clarify also to Senator Thangwa that I went out of my way to go to Jeddah to check on this. And in fact, even Senator Thangwa, I realized the stories that, of course, we were getting from the ground are so different from what the ambassadors were discussing about. And no, seriously, those are two different issues. In fact, I even want to say that we need to go on that mission, Senator Thangwa, again, to inquire, and I'll send you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Hamida, you're giving more of information than point of order.
Okay, then point of information, Mr. Speaker?
You should have requested Senator Thangwa. What was out of, if there was nothing out of order, let us allow Senator Thangwa to proceed. Senator Thangwa, conclude.
Just 1 minute, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think as a Senate, we need to form an ad hoc committee for the Senate to travel to Saudi Arabia, to Qatar, and to Dubai to save Kenyans there, Mr. Speaker, because they are afraid to talk.
Senator
because
Thangwa,
if they talk, Mr. Speaker, they're either arrested, they're either sent home, or they are either intimidated, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Thangwa, do you want to be informed by Senator Hamida?
Mr. Speaker, I'm done. Thank you very much.
Okay. Senator Ogola.
Honorable Speaker, I rise to support the statement by Senator Hamida on the state of lack of an ICU at Pumwani Hostel. Honorable Speaker, it breaks my heart and the heart of every leader who cares and every Kenyan that the status of Pumwani, a maternity designed hostel that delivers over up to 500 children in a day, can go for a long time without an ICU, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, to me it is not only evil, it is criminal, and for me it is a sign of, it is an act of genocide, Honorable Speaker. It is by design that the government that should be availing an ICU in Pumwani Hostel should decide, despite the resources that this house gives to the counties, Pumwani has no ICU, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, somebody once said, and I concur with them, that no woman should die while giving birth. But the lack of ICU in Pumwani is a major cause of the deaths we have of women, and not only women and children in Pumwani. Honorable Speaker, it is sad that when a mother that is not able to give birth naturally and may end up needing the assistance of ICU services, they have to be referred to other hostels that may be even far away. Honorable Speaker, this is a matter that must be attended by the Health Committee, like yesterday. And I see in the House, the Honorable Chair, Governor Senator Mandago is in the House. That, Senator, it is shame that we do not have an ICU in Pumwani Hostel. And, Honorable Speaker, it is sad that there are basic drugs that cost as little as 100 shillings and 150 shillings. That when we have even premature births, we lose such babies because an hostel or a facility is not able to afford a drug that is as cheap as 150 or 100 that should support the lungs as that process takes place. Honorable Speaker, sometimes I wonder whether it is a sin for women to give birth. And as a country, that must be a priority to us. And Honorable Speaker, as the Health Committee goes to look into this, they must give us definite targets, definite timelines in which this ICU can be availed. Honorable Speaker, if 30 women or 50 women are giving birth at the same time, which happens in Pumwani because of the numbers, it is unfortunate if we have even 5 of them that needs ICU services and cannot be granted. They have to be referred. Honorable Speaker, Kenyans do not deserve that. Women do not deserve that. Newborns do not deserve that. And we must go ahead. Measures must be put in place by this committee. Visit the place, visit the county government of Nairobi, Honorable Speaker, and as women, we will not accept that. Honorable Speaker, you know all the lives that we have here. Even the capital development of a country begins from a mother and a child. Honorable Speaker, I support and I detest that kind of treatment, and I say it is an act of injustice to women, an act of injustice to Kenyans, an act of injustice to humanity. Honorable Speaker, I support.
Senator John Kinyo.
Asanti Bwana Spika. Nasimama kuunga mkono taarifa iliyoletwa na Mondigi kuhusu masaibu wanayopitia Wakenya katika nchi ya Qatar. Bwana Spika, jambo hili limekuwa ndo na sugu kwa sababu kila wakati nakumbuka hata seneti iliyopita hili jambo liliangaziwa likaongewa kwa kirefu. Bwana Spika, ni juzi tu Senator Karungo Wadhangwa alileta taarifa kama hii kuhusu masaibu wa Kenya wanayopitia katika nchi ya Saudi Arabia. Bwana Spika, kitu cha kwanza tunaambiwa kwamba wananchi wa Kenya wanaenda kufanya kazi katika nchi hizo, wakifika, kitu cha kwanza ukifika unanyang'anywa pasipoti yako. Bwana Spika, Bwana Spika, katika nchi ya Saudi Arabia Wakenya wanapitia mengi. Kuna Mkenya ambaye ametoka Laikipia pale na Nyuki ambaye anaitwa Josephine Wanjiru Mombi. Bwana Spika, tayari ako katika nchi ya Saudi Arabia akipitia magumu. Bwana Spika, na ilhali tumeambiwa na Hamida ya kwamba ati kuna balozi ambaye anashughulikia Wakenya na tayari amerudisha Wakenya 12. Bwana Spika, 12 ni wachache sana Bwana Spika, kwa sababu wengi wako katika hali hiyo ya matatizo. Hawana pasipoti zao, tayari zimechukuliwa, na ukiongea unaambiwa ya kwamba unashikwa na unawekwa ndani. Bwana Spika, kwa hivyo ni jukumu ya wizara ambayo inahusika ya mambo ya kigeni Bwana Spika, waangazie haya maneno. Isikuwe hii seneti kazi yake ni kuongea tu na hakuna jambo lolote Bwana Spika linafanyika Bwana Spika. Kwa hivyo tunauliza kamati ambayo inahusika, na nataka kuunga mkono Karungo Wadhangwa vile alivyosema ya kwamba kunapaswa kutengenezwe jopo maalum la kushughulikia hayo mambo na yashughulikiwe kwa dharura Bwana Spika, kwa sababu Wakenya wanapitia magumu. Wengine wanapata watoto, wananyang'anywa watoto. Bwana Spika, niliona juzi katika vyombo vya habari ya kwamba kuna taxi driver ambaye alijipata matatani kwa sababu yeye ni mgeni, unapata wanapitia mambo magumu. Kwa hivyo wizara yetu ya mambo ya kigeni wachunge Wakenya walioko huko nje na wajisikie kwamba ni Wakenya. Bwana Spika, nataka kuunga mkono taarifa iliyoletwa na seneta wa Bungoma Wakoli na kuwapongeza Wakenya ambao wamefanya vizuri kwa mambo ya riadha, wamebombea Bwana Spika. Na tusiwe kazi yetu tu ni kuwasherekea ambapo wamefanya mazuri Bwana Spika, lakini baada ya hapo, kwa sababu ukiangalia kama huyu ambaye anaitwa Wanyonyi, Emmanuel Wanyonyi amefanya vizuri, tunamshabikia, tunampongeza, lakini Bwana Spika, baada ya miaka kama 5 unapata hawa vijana wetu ambao walipeperusha bendera yetu katika nchi za kigeni na tukajulikana sana, hatimaye unawapata wakiishi hapa Kenya katika maisha ya uchochole na hakuna mtu anawakumbuka Bwana Spika. Kwa hivyo si kuwakumbuka tu wakati wanapeperusha bendera yetu juu, lakini vile vile Bwana Spika, tunapaswa tuwapatie mafunzo maalum jinsi wakipata zile hela zao vile ambavyo wanaweza kuziegeza kwa sababu ya maisha yao ya usoni Bwana Spika, kwa sababu hawa ni vijana, na ni vijana. Nikimwangalia kama huyu Emmanuel naona ni kijana wa miaka 21 Bwana Spika. Kwa hivyo anaweza kuwa hana yale, na nikifuatilia vile taarifa ambayo imeletwa na Senator wa Bungoma, amesema hata alikuwa amewacha masomo, baadaye walimu wakaona, wakamtafuta, akampata, wakamleta. Kwa hivyo kwa mambo ya uwegezaji anaweza kosa kujua. Kwa hivyo yale mambo ambayo anayapata anaweza kosa kutoegeza vizuri, hatimaye maisha yake ya usoni yakamwendea segemnege. Kwa hivyo Bwana Spika, tunapaswa hawa vijana wetu tuwafunze vile ambavyo wanaweza kujikimu kwa maisha yao ya usoni, na ni kamati ambayo iko hapa yetu ya michezo na huduma ya jamii waweze kuangalia hayo mambo, ndio hawa vijana wetu katika maisha yao ya usoni wasiishi kwa hali ya uchochole. Nashukuru Bwana Spika kunipa fursa hii na nasema asante.
Senator Osotsi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to comment on 2 statements. First is a statement by Senator Mundigi on the labor rights and the suffering that our people go through in Middle East. And then secondly is a statement by Senator Hamida on the lifting of the logging ban in our forest. Mr. Speaker, the issue of the suffering of Kenyans in the Middle East is an issue that has come to this House several times. Almost every week, senators are coming here with statements about their constituents who have either been killed, maimed, or they are stranded, or something worse has happened to them in the Middle East. And Mr. Speaker, I wonder why we are not dealing with this matter with finality. We are, and even in the National Assembly, Mr. Speaker, there has always been issues around labor rights of our Kenyans who are in the Middle East. Mr. Speaker, you wonder why these issues continue to happen, and yet we have authorities in this country. We have the Ministry of Labor, we have the Ministry of Foreign Relations and whatever, and diaspora affairs, and these things continue to happen. Mr. Speaker, the real truth about what is happening is the bogus recruitment firms which facilitate the travel of these people to these countries. And the government knows who these firms are. Some of them are owned by people in government, including ministry officials. And I dare to say, some of them are even owned by members of the Labour Committee in the National Assembly. I dare to say that. So I think the starting point is for us to face the bull with its horn and demand for the audit, proper audit of these recruitment firms. Who are the owners of these companies? We can easily get that, Mr. Speaker. Then we start from there and find out, are these companies properly regulated, properly licensed by the government? I'm sure if we did that, we'll be able to get somewhere in trying to resolve this problem. The second statement is the issue of ban on logging. Mr. Speaker, it is very interesting that in Mau Forest, a few years back, it was almost becoming a desert because of the logging that was happening there. It had to take the leadership of the late ODM party leader, Raila Odinga, to stand firm and say he's prepared to go and cook mandasi in Kibera to protect that forest. And now, Mr. Speaker, the water levels in Mara River have gone up, the water levels in Lake Victoria and all the environments there, things have improved. But now, our government tells us that they have a target to plant 15 billion trees. Even before they even get 1% of that target, they are telling us that we should allow logging in one of our biggest forests in this country. Mr. Speaker, what a contradiction is that? That you are saying one thing and taking away with another. Mr. Speaker, these are the contradictory statements that we continue to get from the government. And I want to also question the wisdom around the lifting of logging in our forest when we have a target of 15 billion trees. Mr. Speaker, 15 billion is not easy. It's not easy. You can imagine the world population is not near 15 billion, but we want to plant 15 billion trees. So if really we want to plant 15 billion trees, then we should not be talking about logging. We should protect the trees that we have and plant more so that we can achieve the target. Mr. Speaker, with those few remarks, I support the statements.
Senator Samson Cherargei.
Mr. Speaker, I just want to comment on three statements. One is by Senator Alexander Mundigi, Daktari, and to congratulate him for bringing home the Mbere North Wamudende, the Member of Parliament, is becoming indomitable in Embu politics. Secondly,
Senator Cherargei, do you want to be informed by Senator Osotsi?
No, I have heard him sufficiently. Mr. Speaker, Secondly, I want to say this issue of Kenyans who are suffering in Qatar, Dubai, Middle East, and a diaspora is a serious issue. The government formed a diaspora department, Mr. Speaker. We need to summon the PS and CS of Foreign Affairs and PS of diaspora to come and tell us what is happening. Mr. Speaker, because if you look at 2024, the Kenyans who gave us foreign exchange revenue, Anna, was 4.95 billion US dollars. That is around 640.8 billion in foreign revenue, Mr. Speaker. It has even surpassed tea and coffee, the traditional foreign exchange, Anna, Mr. Speaker. So, Speaker, it's so sad. So we must, I agree with committee, we must form an ad hoc committee. Mr. Speaker, with my expertise and my experience, I am willing to be the chair of ad hoc committee so that we can fix this issue of Kenyans and deputized by Senator Ogola so that we can fix this issue Kenyans are facing abroad. And I know Senator Otsosi will be a member. Mr. Speaker, secondly, you can imagine the other day, I saw one Brian Kiplimo, 26-year-old, who was working for Kabit Tax Company in Dubai, being made sexual advances by a man which was captured in taxi, Mr. Speaker. How do you, Mr. Speaker? It is even immoral. It is unfair, Mr. Speaker. A man making sexual advances against Brian Kiplimo, Mr. Speaker, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs must do something. We must bring Brian Kiplimo home. Mr. Speaker, are you aware no one has been prosecuted? You saw that video where Brian Kiplimo was driving in Dubai and somebody wanted to make sexual advances towards him, Mr. Speaker. We must be told what happened. Brian Kiplimo deserves dignity and respect. That is the core of our Constitution, Article 27, Mr. Speaker, in right, Mr. Speaker, in right to dignity of human. You can imagine, Mr. Speaker, you are assaulting somebody. You know, it's unfair. It's unfair, Mr. Speaker. With this era of many things like LGBTQ, Mr. Speaker, it's very unfair. I feel for Brian. How can he stand before his family or even friends, Mr. Speaker? So that thing, the Ministry of Affairs, the diaspora PS should be in Dubai fixing that issue. We cannot live. They are giving us 640 billion, Mr. Speaker. And those are secondly, Mr. Speaker, on the issue of KDF, I agree. Even in Eldoret, we have similar issue, Mr. Speaker. In 2021, December on Christmas Day, 3 people were killed by KDF. No one has been prosecuted. On 26 November 2023, 4 local were beaten by KTF. No one has been prosecuted because of only land. In Kapchurman area, in Kamagut ward, near the RTS in Eldoret, Mr. Speaker. KDF is part of Kenya. KDF are Kenyans. They are our sons and daughters. That land belongs to those people who come from Eldoret, Mr. Speaker. We must ensure National Land Commission fixes this thing once and for all so that we can receive justice for that KDF land in Eldoret. Finally, Mr. Speaker, this issue of Pumwani lacking functional ICU is embarrassing. It looks like nothing is working in Nairobi City County, Mr. Speaker. I want to challenge Nairobi MCS. When they met the former Prime Minister, they say 60 days. Governor would have visited, fix some of these problems. Imagine Pumwani does not have a functional ICU. It's one of the biggest facilities in this town, in this city, Mr. Speaker. Governor Sakaja has failed to provide. I want to challenge the members of County Assembly, the MCS, to take action. The 60 days are over. Mr. Speaker, health under Article 43 is a human right. It's a basic human right. Even in Garissa County Referral Hospital, in Nandi Referral Hospital, Nairobi doesn't look like nothing. Everything is not working. From roads to hospital to garbage collection, Mr. Speaker. The MCS of Nairobi, I want to challenge you. The court is the ball is in your court. 60 days are over, Mr. Speaker. We are ready to do the needful and fix Nairobi once and for all, to call out Governor Sakaja's government, which is not working. I think.
Senator Jackson Mandago.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to comment on 3 statements. The first statement is by Senator Mariam on the obstruction of the Great Migration Corridor by a private luxury lodge in the Mara River, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I've had the opportunity to look at the videos of wild beast migration across the Mara River, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, it is saddening to note that actually this facility is built on the wild beast migration corridor. It is evident, Honorable Speaker, when you see wild beasts running around within the hotel trying to cross the Mara River, and you find hotel workers with sticks, spears, and rungus and machetes trying to chase the wild beasts away from the hotel, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the committee should thoroughly investigate how this facility was licensed by the county, how they leased the land for that development, how the National Environmental Management Authority, Honorable Speaker, allowed, if at all they allowed, for the development of that facility, and what was the consideration. Honorable Speaker, this is a classical case of multinationals trying to thump on the rights of the local communities, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, Masai Mara is a national heritage. The Masai community have been able to coexist with wildlife for the longest without conflict, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, this facility the committee must look at how this facility was licensed alongside other facilities, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, we must note that there is a rise of the number of facilities in the Masai Mara, which might affect the wildlife conservation efforts, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me to also comment on the statement by Senator Amida on the issue of the ICU facility, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to say as a committee, we shall definitely visit, but we want to ask the members to also note that a number of counties are facing the same challenges, Honorable Speaker, and there is need for every senator to really check what is happening within their counties, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, on the statement by Senator Mundigi on Kenyans in Qatar and other countries, Honorable Speaker, I think it is not enough for us to just send workers to those countries. It is extremely important that the committee finds out from the relevant agencies whether we have bilateral labor agreements that guarantee the safety of Kenyans when they go to work in those countries. Finally, Honorable Speaker, is on the statement by Senator Amida on the issue of lifting of the ban on logging. Honorable Speaker, I want to say this. I don't agree with that statement, Honorable Speaker, because forests have what we call forest management plan. When the products in the forest are
30 seconds to conclude.
Honorable Speaker, I don't agree with that statement because forests have what we call forest management plans. And when the products are ready, Honorable Speaker, even when we don't log them, they go to waste. And those are billions of shillings, which are resources that needs to be collected and be used, Honorable Speaker. That the lift of the ban does not negate the fact that we need to plant 15 billion trees, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, I would want to ask the committee to check whether we have a clear forest management plan on dealing with products that are ready for disposal to the market and how those areas that have been harvested are going to be replanted, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, I really don't support those statements, but I support the rest of the statements. Thank you very much, Honorable.
Honorable Mohammed Chute.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I am a Muslim by religion. And I want to remind this House, when the refugees fled from Somalia, they went to many places. Some went to Arab countries like Saudi Arabia, some went to Dubai, even Qatar, and some people went to Europe and America. Those people who went to refugees who went to Europe and America were received very, very well. They got excellent treatment and very good hospitality, Honorable Speaker. And those who went to Arab Muslim countries were humiliated, they were detained, and some of them suffered heavily. And they were deported. Some even lost their lives. Honorable Speaker, the statement by Senator Mundigi, although sometimes he calls me Shute, Shute, Shute. And I want to tell you today my name is Chute, not Shute. So, Honorable Mundigi, let me also congratulate him. He has delivered the MP seat in his county. So, Honorable Speaker, the issue Senator Mundigi raised is an issue the committees should look at this issue and deal with it. Honorable Speaker, our President, His Excellency Honorable Ruto, has done a lot. Even people going to Qatar, and through the agencies, he has done a lot. But what we need to do, as this committee, the committee should look at, people are being, once you go to Saudi Arabia, or even Qatar, Dubai, passports are confiscated. It's prison, in the prison. So, Honorable Speaker, the committee should even visit Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and see how our people are suffering. Their food shortage, Honorable Speaker. There are issues, annual leave. They take leave once in 2 years. What law is this? They should go and see and talk to them. These are Muslim countries. These are people who believe in Islam. These are people who pray 5 times a day. These people, they go to Hajj. Honorable Speaker, I want to suggest something. There should be an organization led by Muslims, not SUPKEM, other institutions who can organize the issue of labor.
1 minute to conclude.
Thank you. There should be an organization that can lead that process and see how our people can get jobs in those Arab countries, but they should look at humanity, Honorable Speaker. So as I conclude, I want we don't want Supreme Council to take charge because there are rogue leaders there. The chairman has been using pistols, shooting at young boys and girls. So this is something very serious. So we need to have an organization that is going to take care of labor issues going into Saudi Arabia, going into Qatar, and also Dubai. Honorable Speaker, I support this statement by Honorable Senator Mundigi.
Thank you, Senator. But Senator Chute, having listened to your submission, I am also aware that there are a lot of Kenyans in Dubai and in Qatar who have been employed in very decent jobs, and they are not being mistreated. And in Saudi Arabia as well, we have senior managers who are Kenyans working in very decent jobs. I think, Senator, as much as I agree with the statement by Mundigi, we also have to be fair to these countries. And it has nothing to do with religion. If there are people who are being mistreated, the religion does not teach people to mistreat other human beings. So we need to be fair to these Gulf countries. As a country, like what most senators submitted, we should have a policy that guides Kenyans in every country in this world. In that case, we shall go to the next order. Honorable Senators, we shall reorganize the order paper and go to order number 22. Clerk, read the next order.
Order number 22, motion, progress report of the Standing Committee on National Cohesion, Equal Opportunity and Regional Integration on an inquiry into the diversity and inclusivity in the staff composition of state agencies in Kenya.
Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. Allow me to table the report for National Standing Committee on National Cohesion, Equal Opportunity, and Regional Integration. Honorable Speaker, I'm tabling this report pursuant to Standing Order 2281. The Standing Committee on National Cohesion, Equal Opportunity, and Regional Integration is mandated
to consider all matters. 1 minute. Some corrections, Honorable Speaker. Allow me to move this motion on the approval, or sorry, on the adoption of the Senate Progress Report on the Standing Committee on National Cohesion, Equal Opportunity, and Regional Integration on an inquiry into diversity and inclusivity in the staff composition of state agencies in Kenya, laid on the table of the Senate on Thursday, 3rd October 2024. Honorable Speaker, allow me, under pursuant to Standing Order 2281, the Senate Standing Committee on National Cohesion, Equal Opportunity, and Regional Integration, which is mandated to consider all matters relating to national and inter-community cohesion, equalization of opportunities, regional integration, and representation in the East African Legislative Assembly and the Pan-African Parliament. Mr. Speaker, sir, the report highlights the response received from various stakeholders concerning diversity and inclusivity in the staff composition of state agencies in Kenya. Mr. Speaker, sir, in compliance with Article 125 of the Constitution, Section 18 and 20 of Parliamentary Powers and Privileges, Act number 29 of 2017 empowers the Senate and any of the committee to summon any person to appear before it for the purpose of giving information. The committee invited and met with many institutions, namely 29 state agencies, to respond to the inquiry. Honorable Speaker, I don't want to mention all the names because there are 29 because of time. But, Honorable Speaker, the committee observed that in the state corporations, the major issues are the PWDs. Honorable Speaker, this law says minimum of up to 5% should be people with disability in any organization, institution, or government agencies. The problem, Honorable Speaker, with the 5%, many organizations have not met. I think it's about not less than 95%. Honorable Speaker, and if you ask what issues are there, everybody says all the institutions that came before us, they are talking about historical